nine, eight, seven, six, five, four, three, two. Are you ready?
Let's go. We back at it again. So, as you can read from the title for today's lesson, we are going to learn, the textbook and the basic knowledge of a drop-based drop candlestick pattern. You know, these type of patterns, guess what? We are looking for potential sells. So there's multiple ways that you could determine a base drop base drop. The two important concept is we have a red candle going down, then we could have a blue candle, right? It could be a blue candle and then a red one dropping, right? The most important thing in the drop base drop sequence is the drops. Both drop has to be red. Sometimes we could see the base, it could be blue, and sometimes it could be red. But the concept is you see like a stop. Is dropping, you see a drop, base, drop. Sometimes you might see something like this, the size like that. Sometimes you see something like this with the size like that. The concept is if you see that the sequence is drop, base, which is like a pullback, but not really. It's just consolidated, going sideways, and then a drop. You see that? That's how you could determine a base. A drop, base, drop. And this, like I said, is giving us potential idea an idea for a future sell opportunity if possible. So right here we mark up, like I said again, if there's a wick here, if there's a wick there, let me change that real quick. There we go, boom. Bring this here, bring this there, Then we have a wick here and a wick here. There we go. Beautiful, lovely. Determining which wick is highest, that's the one we're going to take. And which one is the lowest. So let's say we saw something like this, that the base actually had a longer wick. And then let's say the first drop had a longer wick. So I will mark from the wick to wick and then extend it. So this whole zone will become my sell opportunity zone, But let me show you how it looks in the charts, right? So clearly, and another thing, you could have multiple base. You see how the market right here is dropping, and then it's kind of going sideways, but sideways going down, and then this one just drop, right? This could be a valid drop base drop, and this I would have took. I would have used my Gannon, mark. Let's see, the base right here to the wick, extend it, and there we go. Right there. So I would have used this wick and this wick, and that would have been my zone. The last 3 classes we noticed that the market for the rally-based rally or the rally-based drop And now with the drop base drop, we noticed that the market really comes a lot to the 25%. So look, we would have used the 25%, use our handy dandy risk to reward on top of the high, come down to a 1 to 3 at least, right? Now let's see, did we make the 1 to 3? 1 to 3 is right there. Let's extend it. Let's see. We would have been in profit because this is current price right now. But so far the market dropped from our entry to the lowest point. It dropped 583 pips, and we on the daily time frame. Wow, that's a big drop. That's a nice payout right there. So technically speaking, if we would have never moved our target, our stop loss, you know, with that drop, I would have moved my stop loss to like the previous high. So technically speaking, we're still in the game because it never took us out. This is our new stop loss. Let me make it red. You know, and you're gonna understand what stop loss and trailing stop loss and managing our account later on. But this is something I would have done, and you know, it's still valid because we're still in profit. You know, that's a beautiful, beautiful area of a drop-based drop, right? And usually a drop-based drop, where we see it at, we see it on a downtrend because we're supposed to use it as a sell opportunity. Look, this one right here, this is a nice one right here. You see how the market drop, base, and then drop. So I would have used the Laganda again, use it from wick to wick, and then extend it. And then again, use my risk to reward, 25% at least. That would have been right there. 25% right there. My stop loss would have been above the high, so it would have been that one, and then at least a 1 to 3. And you can see that we crushed it, family. There we go. Boom. Another win by using the drop-based drop method. Another win right there. Lovely. Beautiful. Let me see another one. Let's find another one. A drop-based drop. Drop-based drop. Let's see what this one gave us. So you see how the wick, you see how it's drop, and then we have 2 candles as a base and then a drop. That's okay. So the highest wick between this formation is this candle, and then the lowest is this one I'm gonna use. Extend it to the right, and we had 2 entries. We had this one, and then we had a 3. That one, and maybe this red one, but I'm gonna go with these 3. So you see how the first one came to it kissed the bottom of the box. That's an entry, depending, your spread. The second one gave us right into the 25%. Right into the 25%. And then the third one came between the 0 and the 25%. Let's use our fibs again. 25%. Our stop above the high, so we will use one of these highs right here, or we could use this one up here for more secure. So let's go that one, and then at least a 3 to 1. Did we get the 3 to 1? Yes, we did. Look at that. Crushed it. It hit our target. So this is a beautiful thing. You see a drop-based drop, how we are 3 for 3 now. 3 for 3. Let's see if the next one, this will be tomorrow. Oh, no, we already did that. Let's see one more. Can you find one? Let's find one that didn't go our way. Or did it? So you see how we got a drop base. So the base, have you been noticing the base is going sideways, and then we have the drop. So we have a drop, base, drop. You see that? So we mark up the high, to the low of the base, extend it. Let's see what happened here. So this is our zone. The market came back here and gave us an entry. How much did it drop? It dropped 138 pips. So that's the win right there. But let's say we didn't see that one. It didn't came into one of these. You know, we had this one and then this one. You know, between these two, the market actually dropped because we used that wick, and then this low right here came 22 pips. So you see, the first one gave us 100 and what was it? 138. But if we would have missed this and tried to get one of these, it would have took us out. Why? Because we would have used again the 25%. The stop above the high, and then this would have been a 1 to 3, right? You know, 1 to 3, but it never came down. It did drop, like I said, 138 pips. That's a good, good payout. But if you were trying to get your risk to reward of 1 to 3, it would have never came, because look at how the market went against us. You know, boom. So that was actually a win and a loss depending when you got in the market. Okay, let's do one more before we. Oh, look at this one. I saw that one. And see, when you start training your eyes, you start noticing them when it's even tiny. So we have a beautiful drop, base, drop. Textbook right here. Drop, base, drop. And the base is a blue. That's textbook right there. So we're gonna, I mark up the base. For the drop base drop, I tend to just mark up my Ganna box on the wicks of the base. I determine how my zone gonna be because of the base, the wicks of the base. So here we only have one base, so I'm using the whole base as the wick. As the markup. Now, did we have a trade that actually went our way? 25% above the high, and we're gonna have at least a 1 to 3. Did market come? Oh, look at that. The first one came in to the 0 box. Look at that. The first one came let's see what it did. It came into our first zone, which is the beginning of the box. Boom. If you had your entrance there, you would have been in profit, and the market dropped from that zone. Before it turned around, it dropped 161 pips. That's good. Now, our actual point, it came in, but it wicked us out. Look at that little wick above our high, you know? If we would have used this high, you see right there, boom, it took us out. But if we would have used like the next one, depending on your spread, like that one still took us out. If we would have used this one up here, we would have been safe. And we would have got our 1 to 3 for sure. Let's see. Yep, we definitely would have got our 1 to 3 if we would have put our stop loss not above this high, right, but above this one. It would have never took us out. It had room to do what it needed to do and then drop to our target. You see that? So, family, today is a short class. With a drop-based drop, it's super simple. And you see how we were, I marked up 4 to 5 of them. And, the beginning part, they all hit target. But then, depending on your stop loss and how the spread was, two of them didn't hit, right? So you can see right there that this works. You just need to know, at the end of the day, your proper risk management and where you want to put your stop loss. You want to have a tight stop loss to not have too much drawdown, or you want to, give it room for it to breathe and do what it needs to do before hitting your target. So, family, thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate you. Tomorrow, we here back at it again, and I'm looking forward to teaching you more of what I see and how I trade, how I mark up in the charts. So, once again, hit that like button for me. I will appreciate and love your support. Subscribe if you haven't, and hit the notification button to stay tuned, to stay alert and updated with my classes and my stories and my videos and everything. Thank you, family. Have a great one.